It is a, what do you say, module?
Yeah. What is module?
Something. It's a group of something.
Yeah. So actually, I discussed like module is like a piece of code, right?
Yep.
It's like in the Python. First thing is remember like everything is object. The
Yep.
second thing is remember that the program which are written in the Python, they are modular.
Yes.
Even the Python file is a module actually.
Yes.
So why it is called module? Like because it's like a library, and you can use this library wherever you want,
Yes.
right? So now let's say you wrote something like the code of 100 lines, and
Okay.
that code is something having certain functions. Let's say you have some functions available, or some classes are available, or some methods are available, and that is a Python file. And now you want to use those functions which are written in the Python file, or you want to use those classes. Then you
Mhm.
can use those classes, all this thing in another program also, by
Okay.
importing that particular program, or by importing the specific functions or specific library from the Python program itself.
Okay.
So this allows you to access, or this allows you to add the reusability in the Python.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is reusability?
You can use it as many as times. Same piece of code you can use many times.
Right. So it means like if something is written, something is already available, I can use it in my program. I don't need to write the code for that.
Again, yeah. No
Right.
need to. Yep.
So module gives you the flexibility to access all the feature. It gives you the freedom to access all the existing feature in
Mm-hmm.
the program also. So it reduces the lines of code. And so obviously we don't require to rewrite anything then. Once it is written, you can use it wherever you want inside the program.
Yes.
Okay. So this also allows you to reduce the lines of code, right?
Mm-hmm.
And gives you more readability also.
Yes.
So what is reliability? Because like this is a program, this is a model, like this particular program, these particular features are there from this particular models. Okay, so you just need to refer the specific model in that case.
Okay.
Now, so that's what I say. Model is a Python script.
Okay.
Model is a Python script.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which not models. Model is a Python script.
Mm-hmm.
Then what else you can write? Is a script.
Which can be uh, which can be repeated any number of times without writing a new piece of code.
So I just want to write a
Which can be reused
yeah. So what I mean,
and readable.
yeah. So model is a Python script rather than say just normal script. I say because it's a Python script
Mm-hmm.
for a reusability,
Yes.
right? So this one line itself is making giving you idea. Okay, how the model will be. It's a Python script now. You're
Yes.
reimagining that as a Python script. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing is why it is for reusability.
Yes.
Very much clear.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how to we have
How
a
to?
import.
Okay.
How to import models. So we are using the statement called import.
Mm-hmm.
Now import is a statement to import the models in the current environment.
Okay.
Now right now we have the Anaconda notebook environment, and I want to import the models. I want to access certain models, right?
Okay.
So I will
Mm-hmm.
just say import and the model name. So model name is math now.
Okay.
Now this model name is already existing. It's already there in the Python. It's already available in the Python environment. They already created this library.
Okay.
Okay, like that there will be almost you can say thousands of library already available in the Python.
Okay.
So now obviously if you want to use these features which are already available in the Python, I'm not talking about the third party library, I'm not talking about the library which are there in the GitHub and all this thing. I'm not talking about how because then if you think about that, then there will be lakhs of models available there.
Okay.
I'm talking about the library which is provided by the Python directly along with some tool like let's say Anaconda, or directly the just Python library. So those libraries are already available. We just need to access those libraries now.
Okay.
Now how to access those libraries? So you need to use a statement called import.
Mm-hmm.
Import will allow you to access the math library. Now once I say import math, then I can see what this math library is. So I want to know about math library, let's say. So I can check the help of this math now.
Okay.
So because let's say, because math is just simple example, and by name we understand that this math library should be related to mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be by name itself. We can imagine like, okay, there will be some mathematical functions into this mathematical library in the library now. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so let's say sometimes I want to use a sine function, cosine function, or something like a power function or some other functions, log function and all. So in that case, I may not require to write a program for using those all other functions, scientific calculation functions. I simply can import the modulus math, and from that modulus I can use it now. So
Okay.
to know about that, which are functions available in the math, I can check one by using the dir.
Okay.
So dir is a function to know more about the models, that what this model include. So what this math model include now. Let us do some inspection of these models, and you will see it shows there are some attributes which includes like a functions and data. So this is all part of the math model right now. These are all functions available like sine, square root, tan, and so many mathematical functions already available. So these are like this is just one example where you can see like we have some now almost like you can say 20 to 30 functions already available. So I don't require to write any program for that.
Mm-hmm.
So as these functions are well defined, and I don't require to then write a program for that, so that way I can simply use it. So how to use it now? So I want to
Okay.
use some of the function from that. What are the way you can use the function there? So let us take an example. Let's say I want to use a math dot. Let's take an example, maybe the square root.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to use a square root function now. You know how to take out the square root, right? Square root of any number. What will be the like square root of 25?
625. Huh?
Square root.
Five.
Okay, square root. I'm not talking about the square or not. I'm not talking about power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I say
5.
something power, these are
Yeah.
power functions also available. You can say 2 to 20, 2 to 5, let's say 2 comma 5. In this case, what will happen? It will be like 2 to the power 5.
Yeah. 2 to the power of 5.
And that is 32.
32. Yeah.
Right? So now what this function is giving us like a output directly by doing the computation, just by calling the particular functions from the library called math.
Mm-hmm.
So now obviously there are numerous functions available in the math library, and then I can use it by just importing the math itself.
Okay.
So you can see how simple it is. Just because it is already available, I don't need to write code also now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I don't know, let's say some function, because let's say I don't understand some of the functions syntax, because I will not be knowing the parameters of each and every functions. So in that case, I don't got to worry also. I can simply see the help, and you can say which function library you want to run. Let's say I can have the math dot something like maybe the sqrt, and what is the syntax of that. I want to check it. I can say math dot sqrt, and you can see the syntax also, because this is the way the help document is also written for the models.
Okay.
Okay, so you can, and now right now this is existing models. So let's say you want to create your models. Yes, you can create your model also the same way like the math model is created. Similarly, you can create your own set of models also.
Okay.
So that also you are going to learn it. That is a topic like a user defined models. But prior to start the user defined models, let us actually understand what are the way you can access the models, and how actually you can access the specific features of the model also.
Okay.
Okay. So some more statement we'll understand for the models, like import statement we saw. We'll also see the different varieties of way. Now in this case, now we need to use the import, and we have to say the model name and the specific.
Model name. Mm-hmm.
We may have a specific data, so and I can check the help of entire models by just putting the help of math.
Yeah.
And now you can see more about models. Like this is a site model reference. You can click on this, and you can get more about the math model also. And also you can see there is a document given for each and every function.
My question is,
Yes.
do we use all this all that sine, cosine, theta, and all that stuff again in real life?
Yes, we do use it.
Oh, I mean, in workplace, do we use it? Will we get situations? Will we have situations where we'll use all that?
No, let me explain it. Now, when you talk about models, it is just the library. Now, it is not like every time you'll be using it. But
Okay.
you use it as per the project requirement. You use it as per programming requirement. So your
Okay.
programming requirement, you may require certain models to be used. May not be the math, maybe something else model, maybe logging models, maybe something other model also. But then it is all depends on program, your
Okay.
project. So you will not know like which particular models you will require to use also.
Okay.
So right now, what we are trying to understand is like if any model is there, math is just one example.
Okay.
Okay, but then I told you that there are lakhs of models are, but then are you using lakhs of models now?
No.
The answer is
Yeah.
no. We will not be using all the lakhs of models right now. No way,
Okay.
nobody is going to use that. You are going to use
Mm-hmm.
the specific models only as per your project requirement. For
Okay.
instance, let's say in my project, I'll be using the logging models.
Okay.
I may use a model like OS models.
Okay.
I'm using the SYS models,
Sister. Okay.
SYS, and I
Okay.
may use a model like I can say threading models,
Okay.
or I may use a testing model, unit test models. So
Okay.
now I want to do something like testing, then I may use a model like unit test model then.
Okay.
So like that, these are just examples. Okay. So it is all about like your project requirement then, and based on that, you need to explore those specific models only.
Okay.
Are you clear with these models now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, this is just the beginning of the models. There's a lot many things to understand about models, and because this is again a basic and the essential part of the Python, we should know what are the way you can access the models, what are the way you can actually how to use the models, how to create the models, and obviously this is one of the most important topic in the Python.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as I say, you can see the document also by using the help. And they are like a built-in already available, so you can directly use it. Let's say I want to know the pi information. I can get the pi information just say by pi because they are already defined. They are already defined, so I don't require to have any calculation. I can simply use it whenever I want the pi data to be used. I can use it then.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the way the models can be used, and you can see like accessing the function is a different and accessing data is different.
Different.
In
Okay.
the function, you have to put the opening closing bracket, but in the case of data, you don't require to put any kind of opening and closing bracket also.
Closing bracket. Okay.
Okay. Now, what are the way? So one thing we saw using the import statement. Second thing is you want to access some specific feature from the models. Let's say I want to access some data only. I don't want to access entire models in my program. Then I can say from statement from math import specific thing only. So that I don't want to access everything. Okay, I don't want to block my memory also. I want to access specific. Say I want to access, let's say, value for like a e, or I want to access the value for the pi, or I want to access the value for this specific function. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
specific function is, let's say, square root or logs or sine or cos or any kind of functions which is already there now. You can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the factorial also. There will be these are library. This is a library. So based on the requirement, it may be the factorial of number. So you may think about, okay, I want to use a factorial. And now, in this case, what will happen? I'm not accessing entire math model here. I don't know what the math model is. I'm just accessing the specific thing. So what I'm accessing in this case, I'm accessing the data e, data pi, and function factorial. So then once it is accessed, then I can simply print the value of this data. I can print the value of your pi. I don't require to say math dot now something. Because I access here, I can also have a print or factorial directly, factorial of some number. Let's say
But
5.
what is that E? I didn't understand. Factorial print E. Why did you give that E pi? Pi I understand 3.14.
Yeah.
Factorial of 5 I understood 120, but I didn't understand what is print E.
Can you see in the help document right now what is mentioned?
Yeah, I see the data is 2.7 E is data, but what data is it? I didn't understand.
Okay. So let me tell you, the model includes the two things. One is data, and the another thing is a function. Now, data is something where you actually, so this is not like something, obviously this is the exponential value, E means here, but then
Oh, exponential. Okay, okay, okay.
that is okay. But what I'm trying to say, even like data could be anything, like in your models, you may have something XYZ data, right? XYZ equal to something like a 100.
Okay.
Okay, some variable equal to value. So that is your variable, right?
Okay.
You may not require to worry about that variable, because as per your data, you can define whatever the data you want to.
Okay.
Okay, right now it's okay. Like we know, like these are what is pi means and what is e means, or but then there will be chances that you will not know also, because it's
Yes.
your data. So if you write in a document, then other people will know. If you don't write it, you will not know also.
Okay.
So this is quite possible that there will be a big library and you will know hardly some functions from the library, or you may not know also. So in case you don't know, then this is the help document for the function. But for data, it is just the fixed value, whatever they have defined, you have to just accept it.
Okay.
So objective is not that to understand what the data, variable value is, or what the function syntax is. The objective is like if any function is there, any data is there, how to access it right now.
How to access this? Okay.
Yeah, that is the objective of this topic right now. Not like what is there in the module also, because as I say, the module may have several things, and this is just the sample example.
Okay.
And I told you, like there are lakhs of modules are there in the Python.
Python. Okay.
Right. So this is, and that's why also the Python is more popular, because see, the Python gives the flexibility. For what? Flexibility to get the use of the existing thing. It says like innovate where innovation is really necessary.
Yes.
And one more principle Python says, better to steal good idea. See, remember one statement, better to steal good idea rather inventing the bad one. So what does it mean? That you already have so many things already available, so just use it.
Yes.
Okay, and then try something innovation. So innovate, but then by using the existing one rather than trying the same thing which is already innovated.
Yes.
Right. That is what we're doing in the case of Python now.
Okay.
Okay. So this like one thing which I wanted to show here. Like now in this case, I just access some data and the function. I may access whatever you want, but if I say about what will be the sign now, I will try to see the sign of something like a 70. This is not available now.
Okay.
Although it is available in the math library, but then we did access specific sign now.
Okay.
Okay. But if I want to access, then I will require to put here sign name. So unless until I'm actually saying that I want to access specific thing, I will not able to use also. So if I say now sine, cosine, so then now I can use it.
Yep.
Why? Because I access it. So this is like under control now, that okay, which particular data, which particular functions you want to use in your program, that only you are going to access. Remaining will not be accessed now.
Okay.
Okay. So this is another way of accessing the models and the models data. The third way is, let's say you have a small, you know the model name, but you don't know the data. Like we don't know what data it includes, but I want to access only data from the models, but all data I want to access. Okay, all data which is available. So I can use a statement called from math import star. Now, what is the significance of this? Now, in this case, I do not know. I don't require to worry about the what you can say, the name of the. I don't know. Let's say there are now 15 to 20 functions and data are there, and you want to access all those 15 20 functions. I don't want to write each and every functions and data in line and remember it. So this will be tedious for me. Like writing so many things from the models. So in that case, simply thing is just say from math import star. Okay. And what is happening in this case? In the star means everything. So everything which is available in the math models will be available now. Okay. So now what is everything means? Obviously, like I can have the cos also available now. I can simply say cos of something and it is available.
Oh, I've forgotten all this sine theta, cos theta. I'm just trying to remember.
It's a math function. You remember?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm telling you. Sine, cosine, tan. I've forgotten the real. What do you mean by sine, cosine?
This is all like what you learn in the math.
Yeah, I know that. I need to revise. That's what I was telling.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, that's okay. But what I'm trying to say here, you don't require to worry about even like the specific function or specific data. Your object is to just know how to access right now, because and yes, as per your program need, you'll be using models. You may not use a math models in your project. Okay, so yes, if you are using it, then you should know it in that case.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is just sample example that how we can import the models. So we saw like there are methodology, like we say import statement. We saw like import and math, and then after doing the import math, we try to use a math.square root as a function. So we use a model name here, and then we call the function here in the case of this statement.
Yes.
But in the case of this statement, when you say from math import something, then I'm not using the model name here. I'm simply printing data and methods.
Okay.
Okay. And the third case here, I'm accessing everything, and I can everything is available now. Okay. Whatever I want. I don't require to worry about. So everything from the math models. Everything is fill out data, your functions, everything. Okay. So the last statement is about import is like, let's say your model name is very complex.
Okay.
The model name is very big. Let's say you are not, you don't want to remember also, and you want to give some new name to the models.
Okay.
That is also possible. Let's say right now I have a math model name and I want to create an alias. Alias is like just the equivalent for that, right? So now I have an import math and I want to say math I just M.
Okay.
And now this M is like representing or is referring to the math only. So whatever is available in the math is available in the M now. You can see that.
Okay.
It is there. So I can use this M now rather than using the math now every time, and I can simply call all the functions or library using the M itself. Let's say m.sign and m dot something. What you can say, pi. Because this is a new creation, we did it. So what is the benefit? Like I just say, this is okay. The math is a very simple model. The name also, the model is also very simple. But in the scenario where the model name is very complex and which is a little bit difficult to remember, and you don't want that complexity in the entire program, because just imagine your model name is element tree dot xml dot let's say something root, something is there. Okay, and it's such a big name. So in that case, you can say, okay, that import element tree as et.
No, I didn't understand one thing.
Okay.
When you import math as M, what is the output?
So that is what I'm going to say. It is the naming. It is giving the new name. Let's say I don't remember the Chaitra. What do you say? Let's say Chaitra Ramchandra. Okay. I don't, in the import module, actually in the program, I will not say import Chaitra Ramchandra as a program. I will say import Chaitra Ramchandra as CM.
Okay.
So now what will happen? CM as means is a shortcut for you. Right? It's like alias, we say. Alias is like a renaming. Okay. Otherwise, I will say Chaitu. Right? So what will happen in this case? The Chaitu will be the token name or something different, but you are not different, right? Will be even Chaitu is the same.
Same, yeah.
Right? So same way here. So here in this case, M is the same as a math.
Okay.
We just we have given some different name because I don't want to use this name math every time. Okay, I want to just use a shortcut for that.
No, but we didn't get the output for that, right? So I'm thinking.
It is importing. It is not the output. Okay, how come it is renaming, right? Okay, what is the output?
Like got it. Yes.
Yeah, where we got output for the import statement? Tell me.
Import. No, we never got.
The import statement don't get an output. It is just to import.
Rename. Yes.
Okay. Unless until you access it, you will not able to use it. I mean, you will not get the output. Right? You can see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is to give the quick idea about the model here. That what is model, how to actually import the models, what are the 4 methods are there, import statement from the math that you can see here, and what way you can. So then in this case, what you are seeing, like the model helps you to, model helps you to access the data quickly in your program. So if you
Program. Okay.
program, you want to use it, this is like the simplest way. Just import it and use it in your program if
Program.
already available in the Python library.
Sure.
Okay, you got this point now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here what we will do now for today, we will actually